just working with our company, you're going to get to work with a lot of bright individuals.
Everyone is open and ready to help you, and definitely big on advocating for making sure that you succeed and reach your potential.
Everyone's goal is the same, to make the best products that we can for our clients and make sure that it is everything and more that it could be.
What's kept me here? Our culture. We're genuinely a very great group of people. Everyone's just always willing to lend a hand.
When I have a suggestion or a concern and I voice it, leadership actually hears me.
As a consultancy, every person has a role and has something to bring to the table. There's just a lot of opportunities here if you're up for the challenge.
Jump on board, be part of the fun ride, because we're going places.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
You're good at making big announcements. We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
Aspen Creek Grill, we are a from-scratch concept with comfort fresh food. You can expect a world-class experience on a great budget. We've got incredible specials, great service. Today's dish that we're going to highlight is going to be our Aspen Blue Sirloin. It is, again, our premium Black Angus certified beef, and we top that with a blue cheese crust. Again, everything that we do here is made from scratch, and it's no different from our steaks. We hand cut all our steaks in-house. So our team back there it's just an incredible team. Everything that they do, they take so much pride in. They put a little bit of themselves into everything that they do over here, especially since it is a made from scratch concept. We want everybody to come, visit us, enjoy some great food with some great service. Bring your friends, bring your family, come have some great food, have a great time with us with some of the best comfort scratch food.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Bertner Electric Incorporated provides professional commercial electrical contractor services to Indianapolis and surrounding communities. Locally owned and operated for over 30 years, our knowledge and experience make us the perfect choice for all your commercial electrical contractor needs. Contact us today.
Thanks to you. a difference in the lives of our neighbors in need.
Can't make it to the game? We've got your back. Just go to www.IndianaSRN.org and tune in to all of the live action, or go to our on-demand service and relive your favorite moments.
Sports fans, welcome back to Game Time, to pure spirits, to pure sport. Welcome back to high school sports.
Fans, I'm IHSAA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back.
This is Game Time. This is Indiana high school sports. This is your IHSAA.
Hey, Indiana, let's clear the air about vaping. Glue, rat poison, paint. We all know these products contain poisons like formaldehyde, arsenic, and lead. And these are just a few of the chemicals you'll find in e-cigarette vapor. Let's clear the air, Indiana. Don't puff this stuff. Visit don'tpuffthisstuff.com to join the fight and spread the word.
At first, me and my mom were struggling. I was trying to pay the bills and trying to take care of my mom at the same time. When I first heard that I can get paid for taking care of my mom, I was kind of skeptical because I had been doing it for so many years without pay. That's when I reached out to Passion to Care. I read all the reviews and I saw that they were #1 in the field. Passion to Care has really, really changed my life. Right now, I take care of my mom 24/7 thanks to Passion to Care.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
And a pleasant good evening, everyone. We welcome you back once again to Horizon Christian. It is the second day we've been here for the Lions as they will take on Shortridge tonight. The Blue Devils coming in their first matchup of the year. Horizon picking up a win last night over Columbus Christian. They've improved their record to 2-0 on this season. Great to have you with us for volleyball coverage here on IndianaSRN. And tonight, Troy Narangowski along with Coach Keith Myers back with you once again, and we're expecting a good one here tonight, Coach. And boy, big win last night when you consider that Columbus came in, played well early, and then you saw Horizon pretty much just kind of take over from the first set into the second set, and then the third set got a little bit closer, and the next thing you know, Horizon expanded that lead and really made the scores look lopsided by the time it was over.
Well, the other thing that we talked about, it was a 20-year rivalry, and you look at those, and Horizon seemed like they stepped up to the plate very quickly. It started quickly, and it ended quickly. A Columbus team that I think very young will probably make some noise in the Christian tournament. But, you come in at 2-0, you're playing an IHSAA school, a school probably 2-3 times bigger than you. This will be a big test for the Lions and see how well they'll do.
Shortridge, by the way, to show you where they're at right now, they actually last night passed out their uniforms.
Yeah.
So they really didn't even have anything established between the JV and the varsity probably till after practice. We found out today what the roster was going to look like, and so it kind of took us a little more time to even find out what they're all about. But they've got some players that are coming back from last year. They're going to be a key here tonight. We'll talk about those players here in a moment, but you're right. They're a 3A school, and that's going to be a big difference here for Horizon.
And I tell you what, Troy, I've been in that situation where you're a new program, you're starting fresh, you're looking at all this talent that you have that's coming out for the team, and you want to take your time to make sure you have the best 12 kids that you want to play in your varsity program. And sometimes it's very difficult when you're up against a lot of things. School started just a couple of days ago as well, so everything's kind of new. It will go very quickly, as you and I have talked about. A volleyball season is 9 to 10 weeks long, and you're going to play 20 to 25 games in that season.
All right, let's take a look at the Blue Devils last year. A 5-17 record. They were 0-4 in the Pioneer Conference. They lost 10 out of their last 11, so the season did not end the way they had hoped. And we'll talk about some of their numbers, but they really need to improve in some very key areas. One of those is their hitting percentage. Last year at .087. If they're going to win this year, that's one stat they've really got to find a way to be better at.
And how you do that is you set the ball to your hitters and let them hit the ball. And it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of practice. And it will take some games. It will be very impressive how they start tonight with that. But, playing in the Pioneer Conference, it's not an easy conference. Very tough teams in that conference. Greenwood Christian won that conference last year and went all the way to the semi-state in 1A. That tells you what kind of competition that is in that Pioneer Conference.
You and I always talk about the service errors, and we had a
Yes.
bunch of them last night too, and that'll be certainly an area we'll talk about here, a little bit about Horizon Christian, but let's talk about Shortridge. Their serving percentage a year ago at 87.1, and there's another area they've got to find a way to be better at.
Yeah, you want to get up to about 90, 95, maybe a really good team. The coach is here with me tonight. She would want about 100, 105. I've had some teams that have been outstanding. I've had some teams about 87, and you win probably half of your games.
Right. Well, that can't happen for Shortridge, as you said, in that Pioneer Conference. They'll find themselves 0-for again if those numbers continue this year.
Yep.
All right, some players to look at tonight. Penelope Peters, she wears number 4. Last year, a 29% ace percentage. She had 49 aces. Her serving percentage was at 84.6, 35 digs, 64 assists. We'll keep an eye on her. She wears number 4. Isabella Sellers, a 93.7 serve percentage. What makes that stat stand out a little bit, Coach, is that Sellers was at 93.7. Your team was at 87.1. That means everybody else was a little bit lower than 87.1.
And once you put pressure like that on a young lady or a young man in that kind of setting, sometimes they get in a hole, and once they get in a slump, no one else can get you out of that. So that's very interesting. I like how she plays the net as well.
Hidayah Buckaloo is another player to look for tonight. She had 43 total blocks last year. Another returner of the 5 that really were their key players last year. Naomi Johnson had 48 digs, and Vanessa Alonzo had 31 digs last year for Shortridge. But again, only 5 wins last year. They're hoping tonight to get win number 1. When we come, did you have something?
Yeah, the interesting thing that I want to say about Shortridge, you look at their roster, they have 4 They got 4 sophomores and a freshman, a few juniors. The seniors, 3 of them, they all played last year. They have to be the nucleus of that would be probably one of my keys today. Those seniors have to show that leadership to develop this team to play as strong as they should.
All right, we'll come back. We'll talk about the Lions of Horizon Christian. Got a win last night. We'll talk about that win and what to expect tonight. Volleyball action right here on Indiana SRN.
To you. Standing with us. You are truly making a difference in the lives of our neighbors in need.
Welcome back to Horizon Christian, the third game of the year now for the Lions. They are 2-0 on the season. Coach, last night we had a chance to see them firsthand. They win 25-11, 25-10, 25-13 over Columbus Christian, a team that really struggled in a lot of different areas. But for Horizon, it's nice to get a win. There again, you talked about the rivalry of 20 years, but now you're 2-0, and this is really going to be your first big test of this young season.
Well, being in the school every day at Horizon, doing their morning show and doing their announcements, they were pretty, chest out, little swagger.
Okay.
It's good to have that. I love teams that like that swagger. Now what they have to do is go to that next level. Now you're going to play a team in the association. They're a 3A school. You have to come with it. You can't afford turnovers like you did yesterday, unforced turnovers as well. You got to get the ball over the net. You got to hit the ball hard. And I think really the key for Horizon today, if their net play is what they were last week or yesterday, they got to go hard. Okay. Yesterday they just tapped it. They got to slam the ball. They got to make sure that Shortridge knows, these kids can play.
One advantage that I thought Horizon had last night with Columbus Christian is Columbus Christian really never set up their offense all night long. It seemed like, every time they just made a return, and that gave Horizon extra opportunities to score.
Yeah, I think the key here is Hannah Ella Silke again. If she starts serving the way she goes, Horizon seems to go. The other day she did 7 in a row, 8 in a row. I don't know if you're going to see that tonight with Shortridge, because I think Shortridge is ready for them to play. Shortridge knows they played Addicts last year. They know that they took Addicts to 5 games. Addicts is a rival of Shortridge. They coaches trade back and forth. Be very interesting. Front row is the key for both of these teams, but especially for Horizon tonight.
Coach, I can tell you right now that when you look at Shortridge, their size is much better than what we saw with Columbus Christian, so that could be a big key, as you said a little bit ago, with the play at the net.
The other thing is, you watch the characteristics of Shortridge. They're watching the warm-up, where Columbus yesterday was on the bench, didn't watch the warm-up. I love when teams stare you down and look, okay, she's pretty good, how many left-handed players do they have? What kind of setup do they have? How to set the ball? All those things are really kind of cool, and you see Shortridge on the floor, and you see the key players watching that warm-up. Very important.
All right, you mentioned already Ella Selke, who really last night probably the biggest key
star of the game,
because
no
her
question.
Serving was top-notch.
Yes.
But you talk about Victoria Williams, and she plays a lot at the net. She's an undersized player. And again, I'll go back to what you see with Shortridge. They're going to be bigger up front. How important is now the play of Victoria Williams? And then also, when you think about Cambria Hathaway, who's really about 6'1", she's going to be a big key tonight, too.
She got to be I think she's the key. I think Vanessa Williams, where's number 5? She's got to call for the ball. She wants to have the ball. And if she does well, I would feed her constantly. I had a player, Catherine Harris, played for me back in the day. Catherine was a strong hitter, When we fed her the ball and she was in the groove, no one else touched the ball. We knew Catherine was going to get the ball, and the visiting team knew Catherine was going to get the ball, but somehow she was going to get over there. We win a lot of regionals with her. We won a semi-state with her, especially her junior. She was outstanding, and that's what you get. If you got to ride the horse, right. Sort of the hot player. You do it in football. You do it in every other sport. Volleyball is no different.
You and I said last night, coming into today, the one thing we're going to watch was Horizon Christian. And last night, unofficially, 12 service errors. And that might be the one error. And that most of those happened late in the second set into the third set. I think they kind of lost a little focus. They've got to be better at that tonight.
Well, the problem that you have at sometimes you win 2-0 right away. And Coach Hannah could tell you this too. You win 2-0, all of a sudden you relax because you think, we got this one. And now all of a sudden it's 2-1. And now you got to try to get that momentum. Now it's 2-2. Mm-hmm. Now you start panicking. You lose 3-2 because you did not put the gas on all the way. And coaches will constantly tell you it's only 2-0. You got to win 3. Let's get this going. If Horizon goes off to a quick start as 2-0, they need to finish, and they need to finish strong. Same thing with Shortridge. If Shortridge is playing well, you want to put it away. You don't want to go. You definitely won't want to go 5 because our producer will be upset with you, and it will be a really long night for us. But 2, you just want to get it done.
Well, you know me. I usually get 5 setters.
Well, the first thing that Chuck said when he came in is, "Who's working with you tonight?" He said, "Troy." Well, there goes 5 games. We won't be home till 11.
That could be true. Well, I'll tell you what. We're going to find out here in just a couple of moments. Horizon trying to improve their record to 3-0. The Blue Devils of Shortridge looking for a road win tonight. We'll come back, get this thing started in just a few moments right here on IndianaSRN.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
At Morales Group Staffing, we are all about building better futures. And during these times, we are working hard to put people to work. We are now hiring for hundreds of jobs with pay up to $17 an hour. Visit our website at moralesgroup.net or text JOBS, JOBS, to 317-472-7600 to apply now and get hired today.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets. Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
To get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
At Morales Group Staffing, we are all about building better futures. And during these times, we are working hard to put people to work. We are now hiring for hundreds of jobs with pay up to $17 an hour. Visit our website at moralesgroup.net or text JOBS, JOBS, to 317-472-7600 to apply now and get hired today.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
Back once again here at Horizon Christian. It's their third game of the season. They'll be taking on Shortridge, game number 1. Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Reynolds Farm Equipment. Reynolds Farm Equipment is a leading equipment dealer since 1955. Passion to Care, delivering care with more than 24 years of experience. Boilermaker Local 374, where they represent highly skilled, highly motivated workers in field construction as well as metal fabrication here in the state of Indiana. Wheeler Mission. For over 125 years, Wheeler Mission has been a pillar in the Indianapolis community. Burtner Electric, your trusted electrician partner since 1986. The Morales Group, we're in business to create a better future for you and your family. Northwestern Mutual, inspiring people to repeatedly take action on their financial goals. Indiana Labor's District Council, the 12,000 Hoosier men and women with Labor's District Council and affiliated local unions that build Indiana. We are LIUNA. And the IndianaSRN sports page. Follow the sports page daily with updated sports news coast to coast. Go to IndianaSRN.org and click on the sports page tab. Time for the keys, though I was told during the break he was not going to give us any, but now he has to because I put you on the spot.
All right, thank you for the $25 too,
You're
by
welcome.
the way. For Horizon, it's home court.
Okay.
You got to win. You just got to win. You don't want to lose home court. Fast start. You got to go quick, just like you finished with Columbus Christian. Finish it again. Start fast. And then net play. I think the key is Williams. I think it is Hathaway. Those two are very important keys. For Shortridge, it's your first game. Relax. You're in new uniforms. It's a new start for you. Just relax and let the game come to you. Don't rush anything. Communication. This gym is very loud, very vocal, as we've already attested to. So you have to talk really well. And then you got to listen to the direction of your coach. It's a new situation, so coach is going to move you around a little bit. So you got to really listen intently to that. And for both coaches, you got to be very sparingly with your timeouts. You can't really panic early, and because you can get out of the whole entire thing. Runs are going to be the key here for both teams. If you're a 5-0 run, I really think you could get it locked in, but you got to stay consistent.
Now, Hannah, who is going to be joining us at some point, I don't know if she's going to get tonight, but I think you teased her and said, by the way, you'll be doing keys to the match, and then you didn't bring her on.
Well, she's kind of nervous, so.
Oh, okay. All right. So you're going to give her a break.
By the way, my wife was watching, too, so she wanted to see. By the way, she liked the talent, Ken. You look really good, she said.
Really?
Did you get a haircut?
I did.
Okay,
yeah.
I figured you
I
did.
even shaved for this one tonight.
You did?
I did.
Wow.
Yeah, isn't that great?
Man.
All right, here we go. By the way, Shortridge will be in the blue. We'll see them in the near court, and Horizon will be in the far court. We're hoping to change that sometime where we can maybe get Horizon on our side and the opposing team on the other side. So since you work there, you might work on that, okay?
Yes, sir, whatever I can. Hey, want to talk about the football game real quick?
Yeah, don't forget, join us Thursday night, 6 o'clock, the Aspen Creek Grill football preview show featuring the IndianaSRN sports team. Get all the insights, analysis, and predictions you need for the upcoming football season. Don't miss out on the best football coverage around. Tune in and get ready for an exciting weekend. High school football action on IndianaSRN.org. 4 games coming up on Friday night, and we've got some pretty good ones, too.
Yeah, we do. Pretty good read.
Yeah, did your wife write that?
Actually, Betty did.
Okay, good.
Betty took care of me today.
Good. All right. We are ready to go. Set one here from Horizon Christian. Just, in fact, less than 24 hours. We're back at it once again here for the Lions.
And if you're new to volleyball, you see 2 white jerseys, and you go, what in the world? Why is everybody wearing a different color? The white jersey is the libero, which she's going to touch the ball a lot. Coach will talk to you a little bit about that. And then everybody else is.
So it wasn't like when I was coaching basketball where they forgot their jersey and didn't have an extra one.
No, I will tell you a story, though. Yeah. My libero did forget her jersey one time, and she had to wear a pullover, and she was not very happy.
I bet. Well, I bet she didn't forget it the second time.
No, she didn't.
All right, here we go. It'll be Shortridge on the serve to get this one underway here tonight. Horizon, again, looking for win number 3 on the season. Shortridge Their first matchup of the year following that 5-17 campaign a year ago, and we are underway, and there's your first service error. We talked about it, 87.1% a year ago, Coach, and they're not off to a good start.
The gymnasium here at Horizon's very short, very small, so space is limited.
Well, here's Ella Selke. She really was phenomenal last night in the service department. As Shortridge will push this one cross court, and that'll be a point there for Horizon. Rowan Dammeyer, the senior outside hitter, unable to connect on that one for Shortridge, and an early 2-0 lead here for Horizon. I would imagine at this point, you mentioned again with your first matchup under your belt tonight, that left hand good. That'll be Penelope Peter. But you're probably a little bit nervous, first off, number one. You're still trying to figure out your rotation, number two. Some of these younger kids have not been on the varsity yet, so you got to kind of fit them in as well.
Sure, especially watch the freshmen and the sophomores. That would be the key for you for Shortridge.
Penelope Peter, the senior on the serve, -1. And Horizon back in the attack. There's Williams in the middle, get blocked. But tell you what, Nadia Buckaloo, big in the middle, the junior middle blocker, all over that one. We're tied at 2.
And Williams was going to set the ball, but she didn't spike the ball. You got to move. You got to see where the blocker is going to be.
So Shortridge 2 unanswered, side out once again for the Blue Devils. And there's that left-handed serve. We'll see that later with Hathaway on the other side. But the left-handers are a little bit different to handle.
And all of a sudden you were down 2-0. Now you're up 3-2. Shortridge up 3-2.
Penelope Peters, we mentioned, probably the best player on the team from a year ago, an 85% serve percentage. And the left-hander will be problems here tonight for the Lions. So now Horizon, after the pushback, Williams goes middle. You'd like to see her hit it a little harder. That's going to be a misplay there by Isabella Sellers.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to call for the ball, take your approach and swing. You can't – sometimes I think you want to tap it over to get it over. You got to be a force at the net.
So we're tied at 3, opening set side out once again for the Lions. See how Shortridge will play this one. They're going to push it deep once again. Play at the net this time. It'll be won by the Lions. Great play.
Hannah Bowman did a nice job there bringing that ball back.
And by the way, Bowman is well undersized when you look at Buckaloo in that front row there for Shortridge. She probably goes about 6'6".
Okay, I'm a little confused. They gave the point to Horizon. Now they gave the point to Shortridge. It's 4-3 Shortridge. So that ball must have not cleared the net.
So side out once again. Here's Dammeyer on the serve and the ace, and all of a sudden we're tied at 4 again. Dammeyer is a senior outside hitter. We mentioned last night there's not a lot of room if you're a player that likes to get a little run jump on that serve. You're going to have to wait until you find a bigger gym. Nice dig there, and the
Williams.
Return.
Good set.
One thing about Williams, too, and you talked about it last night, you're going to see her play right there in the middle most of the night. That point will go to Horizon. Sometimes she doesn't jump, though.
No, she just stands flat-footed, and I guess that's okay because she's used to doing that, but, I would like to see him get elevation.
Well, then my concern is, again, if you're playing somebody that's big, like what you see in that front row with Buckaloo, you're going to be in trouble. And that one hit into the net again. Right now, Sellers having a difficult time just inside the attack line to get that ball over the net.
And you see Williams, little change of the form than what she did last night, hitting the ball straight up in the air and smacks the ball over.
Good serve this time by Williams. And finally getting that one over, but almost a miscommunication, but nice recovery there by Buckaloo.
Nice look at Buckaloo there.
So we continue to go back and forth here in this opening set, 6-5. Shortridge now with a 1-point lead, and there again is Buckaloo. She's a junior. And now we had in fact, that was Williams over to talk with the.
Hey, referee, I think you missed a call.
Yeah, well.
Sometimes it's nice to go. It's almost like telephone because the captain is the only one that can talk to the official. The official then talks back to the captain. Captain then talks to coach. Coach talks. It would be nice if the coach could just talk to the official.
Like any other sport.
Yes.
Boy, that one pushed deep, but almost saved on that back row to go out of play. 7-5 Shortridge. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Reynolds Farm Equipment, a leading equipment dealer serving farmers, homeowners, landscapers, and commercial contractors in the state of Indiana. Nothing runs like a deer. Give them a call at 317-849-0810, and an ace there by Buckaloo.
And you see Buckaloo is serving the ball to the front row, and the front row is having a hard time setting the ball to the setter.
That 3-point lead now for Shortridge, a service error by the Blue Devils. That is their second. By the way, I tell you what, Shortridge traveled in style. Did you see their bus out there? They have a charter.
Well, that's the IndianaSRN bus.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
It's our bus.
That Chuck drove it for today.
Good.
Yeah.
So I didn't think it was that far from Shortridge to Horizon.
It's down. Shortridge is downtown.
I know. So am I.
Well, okay.
I didn't have a charter.
You mean that you didn't get a driver tonight?
No, I didn't. No, I drove 465 all by myself.
I'm sure that's a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah. Side out here for the Lions. We have another delay.
The officials just warned the bench to not referee, just play. I like that.
Layla Alberto on the serve. And the return hit out of bounds. 8-7 Shortridge with a 1-point lead. So why is it that the coach can't talk to the official? Why don't somebody explain that to me?
It's one of the things that they made a rule long ago.
And they can't change it?
I don't know. It's the game was a gentleman's game, meaning you called your own out, you called your own double hits, and then they brought in officials. And so I'm not lying. I
agree with you. I'm just saying why. When I become supreme emperor, as Chuck knows, I'll change that rule.
10-7. Let's go back to the action.
3-point.
I don't need the emperor to lecture me.
Chuck knows about this.
Oh yeah, trust me. Chuck is going to be with you all year long.
So we've got another
delay. I think it might be the jury.
Oh, I see.
I
that's
see.
Hathaway.
That might be timeout Horizon.
All right, we'll take a timeout as well. Shortridge leads it by 3.
We really focus on modern application development, DevOps, so automating the whole process of delivering your solution, and cloud architecture.
It's very important for mid to large companies to have cloud partners because you can't possibly have all the talent you need to address the complex ecosystem of the cloud.
We advise them on all parts of their business. And then when things are defined and we see a clear goal, Clean Slate also then goes and does the work.
We have a team that is very passionate about what they do. We love to solve complex problems, and there's a lot of companies out there that will avoid, getting involved in those things, and I think that's why clients like to work with us.
Well, I believe after the last timeout, all the jewelry is now on the sidelines. Am I correct?
Yeah, and I took off my rings and my earrings.
Good.
So we're legally to play. I took off my watch earlier.
Good. Hey, was almost a great block up front. Point will go to Horizon, 10-8 your score. So we actually talked to somebody that has kind of an official capacity about why coaches can't talk to the officials because they would be rude, like you were when you were coaching.
I only got 2 red cards in my whole entire career.
Not that you didn't deserve more. We've got a net violation, I do believe, here on Shortridge.
One of those were in Seymour, Indiana, and the other one it was in Columbus, Indiana.
Columbus, Indiana. You don't like things down south, then I take it.
Big time rivals.
Yep. Return here by Shortridge. We'll see what Horizon can do. They'll attack in the middle. That one tapped there by Hathaway. Hathaway does give Horizon more size up front.
Oh, nice.
Boy, the overpass cost him, and Zariah Perry, the sophomore, made him pay for it.
Yeah, she waited for the ball, did a nice job. And did you notice that she forced the ball down, didn't lob it, took the control, smashed the ball down. Good play. I'm very impressed with Shortridge of playing in a hostile situation and really have done a nice job.
Well, and they're winning that battle at the net, too, aren't they?
Yes.
Especially early in this first set. Great serve. And Horizon able to handle it and make the return. Let's see what the Blue Devils will do. How about the left-hand strike on that one? That's a great swing by Penelope Peter.
You take the approach. You saw the hop, and she finished with her leg up and straight down. Textbook.
I don't know if Penelope Peter's left-handed or not, but she struck that. Is she left-handed? Well, we know where they stand in society, as that one's hit into the net. That's their third service error.
This is the second night they mentioned 10% left-handed people.
10% left, and by the way, they are disappearing like the dinosaur, just like redheads are.
2% redheads.
2% left of the redheads, so you remember that.
I got it.
12-10 Shortridge with the 2-point lead outside set. Nothing there that time for Danmeyer.
There you go. Nice hit right there.
See, and that's what you were talking about earlier. You got to get a good swing on it.
And that's Selke.
And you would expect that from Ella Selke.
I think Ella could play the next level. I really think she could play Division II, Division III.
There's a service error the other way. That's, in fact, if I'm not mistaken, the first one we have seen by Horizon tonight. The lead down to 2 now for Shortridge. And this will be Vanessa Alonso, the junior libero. See, she's right up against the wall. You're going to see that quite a bit.
Yeah, it's the first white line that you see is the foot fault. And wow, that's a nice serve. That's pretty impressive. That's a 3-step serve.
Well, some players, they like it a little bit back further, too.
Oh,
they can get a head start. Of course, like what you said last night, you cheated when you coached. You opened up the door at the other end.
Sure,
So,
get you 25 feet if you can get 25 feet.
Yeah, 14-11. And a service error, that's number 4 now for Shortridge.
So, Horizon hanging around here. Now you got to make the run. You got Selke back serving. You got to make your run right now.
Selke opened up last night with 3 of 4 straight when she aced Columbus Christian early, and the return, no. See, here's that lift. Talk about Danmeyer. You got to get a little bit of lift.
And coach even told her to squeeze the hip. Yeah. You turn the hip's going to tell you where the ball is going to go.
Lead down to 1 now for the Blue Devils. Selke again on the serve.
Nice. That's out. Close.
Went for that back corner. Mm-hmm. Second service error for Horizon. Side out once again. There's a good look at Penelope Peter. Mentioned her numbers earlier. She's about as all-around good a player as they have, along with Isabella Sellers. But a service error there, number 5. Tonight's game brought to you in part by the Morales Group. We're building business to create a better future for you, your family, and for the community we share. We can match you with the right career or hire the right candidate for your company. For more information, call 317-472-7600.
Horizon just entered Lizzie Clutter, another hitter, outstanding player, senior, been playing for a long, long time. If she gets an opportunity, she will smash the ball in your face.
Third service error now for Horizon. Side out once again for Shortridge, +1. First match of the year here for the Blue Devils. Set to the outside. The block there by Buckaloo. They keep it alive and try to push it. And, boy, I tell you what, the one thing about it, Danmeyer behind the attack line, got to push that thing over.
Yeah, but you can't, you literally cannot push the ball that far away. You're way back there. You got another hit. Give it to another player to get that ball over the net.
Victoria Williams will now serve -1 here in this first set. We've gone back and forth here in this opening set of play. Much different than what we saw last night. And the little push by Hathaway and the point for Horizon.
Horizon got caught with the libero on the floor. If you didn't see the liberos running off the floor while the other player comes on, that ball should have been stopped play because that's an illegal play. But the officials let it play on.
Tied at 16. And another error there by Shortridge. That's Mia Hurl, a sophomore defensive specialist, unable to make the return. And now Horizon leads it by 1. Well, the coach at Horizon, she's over there talking to somebody on the bench or the scorers table area.
I think they might be out of rotation. Well, they're not out of rotation, the officials would call it, but she's not happy where they are being set up. Nice.
On the return, now the Lions back on the attack again. The back set, cross-court attack. Once again, Shortridge will make the return.
Call for the ball.
Buckaloo gets the block up front, looking for another one, extends those long arms, and then that one hit right into the net by Hathaway. This is really, we'll see what you say about your analysis on this, okay?
Okay.
They're making more mistakes than what you're seeing execution, right?
Yes.
Would I be correct on that?
That's correct.
You notice Hannah shook her head yes, too. So
of course she did.
And there's an ace by Shortridge, 1-point lead.
Hannah will be here in the seat game number 2.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
We'll get her some practice.
Okay.
And I will never see the microphone ever again.
So she's going to be here for number 2 and 3?
I got a feeling.
All right, a 1-point lead. Shortridge trying to get that opening set. Another mistake there by Horizon.
Okay, Troy. Again, they set the ball short. Okay. Now all of a sudden you got to hit the ball up over, and there's no way because you didn't get the ball elevated so I can get the ball over the net.
So the lead at 2 after Horizon had regained the lead, and how about that? Another ace by Buckaloo.
Got to call
it's
timeout.
A 3-point lead, and there is a timeout on the floor. Shortridge leads it by 3.
Piece of equipment you can trust, one that's easy to use. No matter the size of the job, you want to create a feeling worthwhile, something you can use for every job. For over 60 years, Reynolds has been a community staple, ensuring our customers powerful implements, top quality care and service. You need something that's in it for the long haul. Visit Reynolds Farm Equipment, your hometown John Deere dealer, today at reynoldsfarmequipment.com. Get a gator that will get you where you need to go. Something you can get in and go with plenty of space. Be ready to tackle any terrain, large or small. When you choose Reynolds, you choose reliability. A guaranteed great customer experience and relationship from the moment you walk in. Come in and see for yourself or visit reynoldsfarmequipment.com.
Tonight's game brought to you in part by Boilermaker Local 374, where they represent highly skilled, highly motivated workers in field construction, as well as metal fabrication in the state of Indiana. If you'd like more information, contact Boilermaker Local 374.
These next 5 points are crucial for Shortridge.
So it's down to 5 here, and be a big win here in this opening set for the Blue Devils. Well, that one wasn't hit well by Zariah Perry, but just enough to get it across.
But I will tell you, the hit that Horizon made was probably the best hit they made all night. They just hit it to the wrong person.
So now it's a deficit of 4 for the Lions. By the way, I don't think the Lions have lost a set yet, and they misplayed that one.
Now you got to push 3. This is where I tell my kids, now it's got to be mentally tough. You have to mentally think about those 3 points to finish it out. Do not let them creep back in this thing.
So now it's down to 3. Another good serve.
Wow.
The overpass and the point. Once again, there's Buckaloo up front.
I tell you what, she's a stud. Good player. She's only a junior.
Yeah.
Whoa, whoa.
Well, they've got 1, 2, like you said, they got four sophomores that are on the varsity roster. That is the 6th service error. Now it's down to 5.
But now you feel pretty good because you're only 2 away. They have to be almost near perfect for you.
Side out once again for Horizon. Alberto on the serve, and there's one of them.
Look at the enthusiasm on both teams. This is key here.
You get to 23 and you know you can't make mistakes. You really got to play very well here from behind the attack line.
Nice.
Over the top and the point. Wow.
That must be the freshman. I got her listed at number 8, but she's wearing number 18.
Fritzy
Kraser.
Yeah. So she is number 18, and that's going to be touched on the back line. Really a ball that they should have let go.
That's the game.
So that will do it for the opening set. Shortridge battling here late. They win at 25-19.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Aspen Creek Grill, we are a from-scratch concept with comfort fresh food. You can expect a world-class experience on a great budget. We've got incredible specials, great service. Today's dish that we're going to highlight is going to be our Aspen Blue Sirloin. It is, again, our premium Black Angus certified beef, and we top that with the blue cheese crust. Again, everything that we do here is made from scratch, and it's no different from our steaks. We hand cut all our steaks in-house. So our team back there, it's just an incredible team. Everything that they do, they take so much pride in. They put a little bit of themselves into everything that they do over here, especially since it is a made from scratch concept. We want everybody to come, visit us, enjoy some great food with some great service. Bring your friends, bring your family, come have some great food, have a great time with us with some of the best comfort scratch food.
Back once again here at Horizon Christian. Shortridge winning that opening set. You see the score there, 25-19. A reminder, volleyball here on IndianaSRN is brought to you in part by Passion to Care, delivering care with more than 24 years of experience. As a prestigious healthcare company, Passion to Care is driven by decades of expertise and a drive to go above and beyond. If you'd like more information on Passion to Care, give them a call at 317-537-1811. Hannah's been behind the scenes up until now. Welcome to the broadcast.
Thank you.
You ready to go? Let's do
I
it,
am.
right?
I'm excited.
All right, let's
Very
talk.
excited.
What did you see in the first set? Let's start first off. What did you like about Shortridge to give them that 25-19 lead?
Yeah, one thing I really noticed was Penelope Peter. She was very, very offensive, and I'm a big fan of an offensive setter. And she's a lefty, which makes that a lot easier. Yeah. As you saw multiple times, she jumped up, swinging at the ball on the second contact, which is really, really nice. Another thing I really noticed, their serves were really good. They did have high airs, which I think if they bring those down, that'll bring even more of a difference between those that score.
All right, what about Horizon? We talked about them last night getting a win, but they really didn't play as well as we saw them last night.
For sure. For them, I think noticing that Penelope Peter is tipping and pushing the ball over onto a lot. I'm sure their coach is telling them, hey, watch that setter, watch her, be ready for those dumps, be ready for those swings, and then also just staying calm, right? In those moments where you're down 4 points and, the team's about to get set point, they're going to nerves are high. Yeah. They're very, very high. And so just remaining calm, knowing what you're doing, knowing who your go-tos are, their middle's are really good, and feeding them when you get a good ball in system. So.
And the one thing you don't want to do if you're Horizon now is go down 2-0,
Oh, yeah.
especially at home now.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, on the road, I understand, but you're in front of your home crowd tonight.
Yeah, so that's one thing too. Just come out, lots of energy. They've played two games already.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, yeah, just the one so far.
Well,
2 games overall.
2 games
yeah.
overall. Yeah. So remembering what you did those games, what works for you, what doesn't work. When you're in the heat of the moment. Who is your go-to? Who is your key player? Who is going to get you out of those situations? Who is going to be the person that's going to be like, hey, guys, 1 point, let's go,
Yeah. We haven't seen the runs that the Lions made last night either. They'd run off 6, 7, 8 points at a time. That just hasn't happened tonight.
For sure.
So,
So again, serve receive, making sure their serves, creating pressure for Shortridge.
All right, it'll be Layla Alberto on the serve and the ace.
Good
Not
serve.
a bad way to start, huh?
No, not at all.
And that's what we saw a lot last night. They just haven't, and we talk about Ella Selke and what she did last night. They've been kind of held in check here this evening, but that's kind of what they need to do. So let's see what they'll do here in the second set, an early 1-0 lead. By the way, when you were mentioning offensive earlier, here's a nice play again by Bucklew. I thought you were meaning Keith was offensive, because I always find his comments offensive.
No, different type of offensive.
Okay, very good.
But good play by who was that? Number
Bucklew,
16.
yeah.
Buckley.
Buckaloo's really played well, hasn't she? I mean, you
has.
think about her play at the nets being kind of a key.
And you want your middles to be really present and be a force, on the net. So
tied at 1. Horizon will have to make a return. See how Shortridge will play this as we go back and forth, and the ball almost went out of play. Nice save. That's Buckaloo. Puts a swing into that one. It's going to be long.
And on those plays, where your setter takes that first contact ball, it is hard as a middle, being a former middle, to take those out-of-system balls because you're so used to that quick-paced offense. So when it is off the net, it does tend to be a harder ball to keep in control. So not a bad swing by her, though.
The one thing I've noticed so much, and if you watch high-level college volleyball, there's a lot of misdirection. There's also a lot of short sets to the middle. You don't see that so much in this high school ranks, do you? I mean,
not as much, no.
Why is that?
I think it's just the level.
Okay.
I mean, these girls, they're playing well, and but when you get to like Nebraska, Wisconsin, those teams that consistently are making the Final Four every year, they're offensive. Their defensive, their ability to move the ball and keep the opponents guessing is just it's great, and it's very, 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 very fun to watch. But when you get those plays that are you run a quick and then you run a quick to the outside, it just depends upon how that. I think it just really comes down to the level of play.
Right.
Nothing against anybody, but
the athleticism is a little bit higher for sure. Well, I tell you what, that's a great play at the net there. Horizon off to a great start, leading at 5-1.
Yeah.
Shortridge wants a timeout. We'll take a timeout as well here on IndianaSRN.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Once again here at Horizon, the play at the net, one there by the Lions, and they have come out on fire here in the second set. The timeout called by Shortridge, what do you think she said to her players?
I mean, I would be saying like, hey, calm down. It's early in the set. Let's go back to what we've been doing the first set, I think one thing they got to fix right now is their serve receive. As you can see, they're very out of system, giving Horizon very easy balls, and then they're just swinging them back. So I think, if you're Shortridge, you use this point, you gain some momentum with your serve. Serve's pretty crucial here. I mean, you've been down, 4 or 5 points this set so far. So, this serve, can be detrimental even though it is so early on in the set.
Picked up a point right there, and now on the serve, a 6-2 lead by Horizon, and that's going to be wide. One thing about it, too, you can't get it all back at once, and that's kind of a cliche thing to say. So if you're Shortridge, you just got to take it 1 point at a time.
Exactly. Build that momentum.
Side out, Blue Devils. -3. Back set. The swing and the point. Hathaway from the right side is a left-hander. A little bit of a different delivery there off that right side, right?
Yes, for sure. Because typically you put your right-handed players on the outside. Left-handed players you'll typically see on the right side. Now, there are exceptions to that, but typically that's how, you would want to set up your offense.
Shortridge back the other way, but in the abs, Williams up front. Now, we said earlier she's not really big, but when she decides to jump, she does have some elevation.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I just coached a player this past club season. She was 5'7". She was in the middle, but she was getting up like she was 6'2". So,
really?
Height doesn't really have anything to do with it. So,
as long as you got some hops. Huh?
Exactly.
Well, I tell you, that's a great block.
I'll tell you. Sorry.
I was going to say, Buckley had a great swing on that right side.
I'll tell you, though, if you're Shortridge right now, I would have Penelope, dump the ball. That's been working.
Yeah.
She hasn't done that this set. And if that's Shortridge, I'm telling my setter, hey, take it over.
So Hathaway again on the serve. This is the biggest lead that Horizon has had so far tonight. And a misplay will give the point there to Shortridge. What I always find amazing, and I've seen a lot of sports over the years, is when momentum swings in volleyball, it seems to really swing hard.
Yes, for sure. And even in this situation, Shortridge just got the point, but you can see, body-wise that they're like, oh, we're down, we got to get it together. And, so if you're Shortridge and, choosing to come together after every point, being like, hey, next point, and choosing to, what, even though you're down and you're not playing the best you want to play, to continue playing to the level you know how. So.
Is it hard for a team, if you won that first set, to come out and have that same type of energy to get into the second set, or do you have to be a motivator as a coach to make sure you don't have a letdown?
I would say it's a bit of a combination of both. As a player, it's easy to get complacent. You win a set and you're like, oh, okay, next one, let's go. But you kind of lose focus of the point by point.
Right.
But as a coach, it is your job to, keep your players like, hey, we haven't won the game yet, and to continue establishing that motivation and keeping them motivated, keeping them, on their toes and ready for every point, Because as you can tell, that Shortridge coach, she's got a lot of energy, and I'm all for it. When I coached, I was very, very dramatic and very, made a scene on the sideline. So I'm here for it. So.
So a 10-6 lead, and Horizon unable to handle that one, and now it's down to 3.
Yeah, so you got to build on this. Now that was a great serve.
That's Mia Hurl. She is a sophomore. Boy, Shortridge came out flat in this second set after we went back and forth in the opening set, and Williams back the other way there for the Lions. I don't know if she's even, 5'7", 5'6"
for Horizon?
Yeah.
No, she's solid. She gets up there.
So side out here for the Lions. You'll see Emily Olson. This would be I think, a signature win for Horizon.
Oh, for sure.
As small of a school as they are, and knowing that Shortridge is a bigger school, that'd be big.
Yeah, there's the tip.
To the outside. See how Shortridge will play this one. On the return there by Sellers. And that's going to be just inside the line.
Good
Great
swing.
hit there by Selke.
Great swing.
And you see her in the nice smile right there.
Well, it's nice when you lose a set to come back and be like, hey, nope, that wasn't us. This is us.
So Let's see how against Shortridge. Can they regain some of that momentum they had in that opening set? They're down by 5 now. Williams, too much English on that one. As
that's a great
Vanessa
swing.
Alonso can't hold it. I can just imagine, though, when you think about players that can really get up above that net, how hard they hit that ball.
Oh, it's hard. You know, I still play, and, you know, I'll play against guys much, much taller than me and who just absolutely hit over me, and I have no chance, you know. And it's very, very frustrating as a blocker when you're like, oh, my gosh, the ball's right there, and I can't seem to get it. So.
Yeah. 14-7 your lead. Horizon trying to tie it up at 1 apiece.
Ooh, good swing there.
Yeah, over the top there by Perry. So now
Great
Shortridge
swing.
back to 6.
See if they could get some momentum going here.
Well, neither team, I think, when you look at this one, you had the first one we went back and forth. This one you got the early lead by Horizon, but we haven't seen anybody, even though that's a 6-point lead, it doesn't feel comfortable.
For sure. Oh, there's a good point.
Well, now the
Nice
overpass probably hurt them a little bit on that one.
Yes, overpasses as a middle, favorite thing to swing away at. You know, it's right there, and you're like, oh, free point.
Yeah.
Usually, but, you know, so big momentum shift, too.
Down to 5. Horizon trying to go to 3-0 on the season.
Good dig there.
And that's going to be just inside the line. That'll be Perry. You know, one other area that we haven't seen much tonight is you'll see a lot of teams leave that open area right in front of the net. And I don't know how many times I've seen that so much.
Oh, yeah, even at the college game, you know, you see that shot work.
Yeah.
You know, so it's forever a donut campfire, no matter how high of a level you get to.
So why is that? Why is that area open so much?
Typically, it's an area that multiple defenders can get the ball, and so typically, you know, you have a miscommunication error or a, oh, I thought she was going to get it type of situation, you know, whereas in my opinion, if you ask me, I say Libero should take that every time.
Okay.
You know, especially if they're coming out of the left back, you know, where you see it with Shortridge, though, she's playing in the middle. So typically, you know, I'd have one of my wing defenders take that. But honestly, I think it's just a miscommunication error that typically happens quite a lot.
Well, now Shortridge has it down to 4. Here's Perry now on the serve. Blue Devils feeling maybe they got a little momentum going right here. They'll go back on the attack.
There's that lefty swing.
Wow. Penelope Peter from the right side with the left hand. And there's a different spin on that left-hand ball.
There is. And I will say that play right there, I do not think that just happened by chance. I think that is definitely a play they have worked on in practice. You know, setter takes that first ball when she's in the front row, middle sets it to her, she puts it away. So
that is the unofficially 8th service error now on Shortridge. What I know we talk about percentages, 90 plus. When you get down the 80s, don't you look concerned about that?
I would say so. I mean, I think it depends where you're missing.
Okay.
You know, and in that stat, you don't really get to see where you're missing, because I'm a firm believer, like, hey, if you're going to miss long, because it gives the opponent a chance to touch it. You know, versus, you know, if you're hitting into the net consistently, you know, it's a free point for the other team.
Right.
Whereas, you know, if you're serving on out of bounds on the other side, you're at least giving the opponent a chance to touch it and hopefully keep it in play.
Well, there, by the way, Horizon just returned the favor there. We only have 4 now service errors for Horizon. They had 12 or 13 last night.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was not a really good night in that area despite the win. There's a block up front. I love Buckaloo's size. I mean, just straight up, and it's hard to get it over her.
It is.
And now the lead all of a sudden down to 2.
Exactly. You know, just chip away.
Fans here kind of holding on, hoping they can tie this at 1 apiece. And again, a 1-point lead. The one thing about Peter on that left-handed serve, I mean, it's got some English on it, too.
Oh, it definitely does.
And all the servers pretty much against the wall, too, aren't
Oh,
they?
yeah. when you're jump floating like she is, you need that room to get that spin on the ball. That's a great serve.
This kind of reminds me of Selke last night early on, where they just Columbus Christian had no answer at all for the serves.
I will say, though, if you're Horizon, you're thinking about a timeout here soon. You let them go on, a 3-4 point run. You got a great server in the back row. Give her a little bit more to think about during that timeout.
Well, you mentioned going long. She did that time, but sometimes you see those on the back row. They got to make a decision whether it's long or not.
Exactly.
9 service errors by the Blue Devils. So now side out Lions trying to hold on here in the second set.
Trying to figure out who's serving here.
Now, if it were Coach Myers, he'd just grab one and put her there, right? He'd try to pull a fast one on the officials.
Unfortunately, you can't do that. Officials are pretty good at, will normally catch that, so.
Well, he tried. I know he did.
Boy, that's a great play.
Yep, the overpass there. Hathaway made him pay for it.
And I'm assuming that coach is telling her, hey, if you see that, go up and block that.
Hathaway really the only one with really, if you think about size, there for the Lions. And that kind of a knuckleball. Isabella Sanders, or I should say Sellers, couldn't handle that one, and all of a sudden the lead back to 3.
Yeah, when you get a serve like that, you gotta beat the ball there. If you let it come to you, it's gonna drop, curve, float, do all crazy things. So you gotta beat the ball there, get your platform out early, like she did there. Do a good job taking it with her hands.
Shortridge will have to return it down by 3. Let's see what the Lions have here. Haven't seen a lot of consistent volleying here tonight. That may be one of the longer ones, and it's misplayed.
And I also think that's, just settling into the match. I feel like right about now is when teams mostly are pretty settled, nerves are gone. They're like, okay, we felt the team out, know what they're doing, know what we can do.
So the lead back to 2. Now make it 1. Crowd very vocal here tonight, and this is a small gym, so it kind of really
it
makes
echoes.
it hard. It does. Boy, Shortridge would love to go up in this one, 2-0. Is there a mindset of thinking, listen, if you're down 2-0, I've got to win 3. That's tough to do. A lot of teams don't come back.
Yeah, in terms of being down 0-2.
Yeah.
It is very hard, but that there's an aspect of it that's like, hey, let's show them what we got. We got nothing to lose at this point. We might as well go out, give them our all. So.
Yeah. Well, how about that? Is Shortridge?
Great swing.
Yeah, great side from that right side, and now a 1-point lead. Now, if you're on the other side and you're Horizon, you're trying to hold on here. And that's not always easy to do.
No. Yep.
And boy, you can't
Beautiful.
overpass. Buckaloo again, right in the middle.
Yeah, no, if you're Horizon, you're like, we've had this big lead, and it's hard to get out of that mental space of, oh gosh, we can't lose this, and it's hard to stay calm.
And there is the 10th service error of the night.
Wow.
By the way, tonight's game brought to you in part by Piper Logistics. For more than 2 decades, the seasoned professionals at Piper Logistics have consistently been the trusted allies for all of your inventory management, warehousing, fulfillment, and transportation needs. For more information, call 317-396-1023. Back to a 1-point lead. The block up front, but it goes out of play off Buckaloo.
And she's been there almost every time on that block. She's just got to tweak a few more little things, and she'll get a stuff almost every time.
So we're tied once again. That one clipped the net, but goes out of play. Point will go to Shortridge. That is the 5th service error tonight for Horizon, which is dramatically better than last night. So here's Buckaloo. She's actually served very well tonight. I don't know about you, but A lot of times when they're ready to serve, the gym gets really quiet. That drives me nuts.
You know, it's a hard feeling at times as someone who's been in that situation before.
Because you know they're all watching you, right?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's going to be a whistle and I believe a net violation.
I think so. Yeah, I think they're outside number 3 for Horizon.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. She came into the net on that attack. So
a costly error. Now it's 2. Shortridge in the driver's seat after pretty much being down the entire set.
And that's why you never give up.
Wow.
Great serve.
Set point now for Shortridge.
And you can see the energy coming out now for Shortridge.
See, when I was coaching basketball, we never had comebacks. We lost all the time, so I don't know what it's like to come back.
It's a great feeling. It's a very, very fun feeling.
You kind of rubbing that in, are you?
Slightly.
Set point, Shortridge back on the attack again. Is Horizon going to stay alive? They will. Lyons, Williams, and that's going to do it. Shortridge rallies here in the second set. They win it 25-21.
At Morales Group Staffing, we are all about building better futures. And during these times, we are working hard to put people to work. We are now hiring for hundreds of jobs with pay up to $17 an hour. Visit our website at moralesgroup.net or text JOBS, JOBS, to 317-472-7600 to apply now and get hired today.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
At first, me and my mom were struggling. I was trying to pay the bills and trying to take care of my mom at the same time. When I first heard that I can get paid for taking care of my mom, I was kind of skeptical because I had been doing it for so many years without pay. That's when I reached out to Passion to Care. I read all their reviews and I saw that they were #1 in the field. Passion to Care has really, really changed my life. Right now, I take care of my mom 24/7 thanks to Passion to Care.
You want a piece of equipment you can trust, one that's easy to use. No matter the size of the job, you want to create a feeling worthwhile, something you can use for every job. For over 60 years, Reynolds has been a community staple, ensuring our customers powerful implements and top quality care and service. You need something that's in it for the long haul. Visit Reynolds Farm Equipment, your hometown John Deere dealer, today at reynoldsfarmequipment.com.
Back once again here at Horizon Christian. Want to remind you that tonight's game brought to you in part by Reynolds Farm Equipment. Reynolds Farm Equipment is a leading equipment dealer since 1955. Passion to Care, delivering care with more than 24 years of experience. Boilermaker Local 374, where they represent highly skilled, highly motivated workers in field construction as well as metal fabrication throughout the state of Indiana. Wheeler Mission, for over 125 years, Wheeler Mission has been a pillar in the Indianapolis community. Bertner Electric, your trusted electrician partner since 1986. The Morales Group, we're in business to create a better future for you and your family. Northwest Mutual, inspiring people to repeatedly take action on their financial goals. Indiana Labor's District Council, the 12,000 Hoosier men and women with Labor's District Council and affiliated local unions that build Indiana. We are LIUNA. And by the IndianaSRN sports page. Follow the sports page daily with updated sports news coast to coast. Go to IndianaSRN.org and click on the sports page tab. Little did you know, during the break, we talked about LIUNA. And you said that when you're watching your Hawaii shows, and we'll get specific here now, that they say things a little bit different in Hawaii.
I guess, well, it's just the way they pronounce Hawaii, at least from what I've seen.
How did they say it?
I couldn't tell you.
Is it like Hawaii?
No, I don't. It's like
What
Hawaii.
What show are you talking about?
Oh, I
Love
thought you
Island?
never. Love Island. It is a great show. I love it.
Oh.
Makes me feel a little bit better about myself. So.
You know, the one thing you cannot do here with announcers like me is that once you give up a secret, it goes out to everybody.
That's all right.
So Love Island, what else?
Oh, I got really into The Bachelor last season. This year, I'm not super into it.
Why
but,
is that?
Feel bad for saying this. Don't love the person they selected.
Oh, you don't?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
So
That's
I was
the-
hoping for one of two people, and it was not either of them. So.
Okay, so that's the Bachelor.
Yes,
not
well,
the
it was a
Bachelor.
Bachelorette this season.
Oh, the Bachelorette.
I
this
watched
season.
The Bachelor last season. So.
Oh, okay. So what about you? Like the Bachelorette?
I like them both.
Okay. All right, back to volleyball. We got to get that out once so the people get to know you a little bit better. They'll see you on the street and say, "Oh yeah, you're the
Appreciate
one that
it.
likes the Hawaiian Islands and all that stuff." 25-21 win in the last set, and now can Horizon come back down 2-0?
Oh, great swing.
Now, we just talked about a little bit ago, Hannah, that I mentioned the mindset when you're down 2-0. Now you got to find a way. You gave that one away, and now you got to find a way to come back.
And I think it's just going back to what was working. There's I think when you get in that headspace, it's really hard to come out of it. And so, I think it only takes one person, from Horizon going, hey, guys, let's go. Like, we just need one pass, do what we know how to do, get a swing up there, be aggressive, don't be timid,
And a lot of that comes, so again, your seniors got to step up and be vocal out there on the court.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's that play again.
It's almost like a give and go, isn't it?
It exactly is. Exactly.
Well, and Penelope Peters seems to be very comfortable on that right side.
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, they've definitely practiced that play multiple times. She's got a great swing, for a setter. So.
Well, you can now feel old man momentum has gone back to Shortridge big time here.
For sure.
That is their 11th service error. Now, Keith always said he had a drill that he put a line off the top of the in tennis.
Yes.
You had to hit through it.
Yes.
Did you do it?
I've had to do it, yes.
You've had to do it?
Yes.
Were you good at it?
It was okay.
Okay.
That was all right.
Ace there for Horizon. We're tied at 2 apiece. Now, would it be more of a mental block knowing that, listen, I've got to get it through there? Would you have to adjust in your form or anything else, your delivery?
Slightly. I think one is just gives you a visual and a goal to get, and when you're not getting that goal over and over, it can be a little mentally tough. But coaches do that, so you can practice those hard-driven serves that are really hard to receive and get up. Because when they're coming that fast at you and they have that much float and that much spin at that height of the net, it's very difficult to pass up.
3-2 Shortridge after that misplay by Horizon. Side out here for Penelope Peter. The senior, one of only, I think, 2 or 3 seniors on this Shortridge team, so they're still relatively young.
And if you're Horizon, I haven't seen her serve the ball super short yet. So, I would tell my players and receive to, take a step back, really watch that end line, make sure it's going to drop in and not go out.
So now +2, and boy, she struck that one from the bottom up, I think, because that was terrible on that one. 12 now, service errors.
Yeah, their service errors are gonna potentially come back to get them.
Side out. If it doesn't tonight, it'll get you eventually somewhere down the road, and you're playing somebody really good.
Oh, definitely.
Side out Lions down by 1 here in the third set. Middle attack here, and really not a very good set there for Hathaway.
Looks like there might be a little bit. That ball's got to come up. Free ball situation.
I think that donut expanded a little bit
that
way, right? So now a 5-3 lead. So you and I are back together next week. I
believe
we'll
so.
Be at Bishop Chatard, correct?
Yeah, Bishop Chatard and Guerin, I believe.
Guerin, yeah, that'll be a good matchup.
Yes, I'm very excited for it. Oh, that's a great spot.
Pushing it deep. Can Horizon get it back? And they will. To the outside. I'll tell you what, there for Sellers, wasn't hit really well, but just enough.
Well, it's a great spot on the court, too. I don't know if you've noticed, but it seems that Shortridge is really picking on their far corner over there for Horizon. That's where your setter releases from. It's usually a good spot to go to in a tough situation. So I think Shortridge has done a good job of using that to their advantage.
Well, I want to talk about that a little bit, as that was a misplay, and the point will go to Horizon. Again, you're looking at zones, and you see the coach always up with a clipboard and whatever the number is. Why are you looking? I'm just curious, can you find that zone as easy as it looks?
Once you understand the zones and what the signals mean, I would say so. Yeah, okay. I mean, as somebody who's been playing for quite a while, it comes pretty naturally to me. But for somebody who's just learning, it can be pretty tricky to be like, okay, which zone is that again? And,
right.
Get your serve in a time that the rules allow. So.
Shortridge leading it by 1. There's Williams.
Oh, that's a great play. See, there's that corner shot again.
Yep. So how do you, if you're now Horizon and they're picking on that corner, how do you protect the corner?
I would tell my setter, which I'm almost positive their setter is in the back row, to make sure she's playing her defense first. Typically you get setters who get set happy and want to, run up to the net to set the ball, to set their hitters, but they got to play their defense first, make sure they're protecting their area on the court.
+2 now for Shortridge, and they misplay that one at the net. I'm not sure if they were setting that one for Buckaloo or not. Or was that actually Perry up front? So now the lead at 1. Side out once again. Here is Ella Selke. Selke again big last night. Tonight has not had that same success on the serves, and the opponent making a little bit of a difference there.
Oh, good block.
Now, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, right? If you get caught flat-footed, and I'm sure Horizon wasn't expecting the ball to go there, but if you're caught flat-footed, you're in trouble.
Oh, definitely. And it's the worst feeling when the ball is just right in front of you and you're like, oh, gosh.
That's going to be a service error once again. That's
12?
13. And yet you're still winning 8-7, and you're up 2 games to none. So we'll go side out here for Emily Olson.
And it'll be interesting, too, to see, if the set stays pretty even, how those service errors will affect Shortridge down, when it gets into the 20s.
Right now, a 1-point lead. Olson has been solid on the serve, and I say that, and it just inside the line.
There you go.
So we're tied at 8.
And usually this is the point of the game where one team will either kind of take off and one team will kind of maybe struggle a little bit more. So it'll be interesting to see how the next few points play out.
Yeah. Who will get that momentum first?
Exactly.
I mean, we really have not seen tonight huge leads like what we saw last night for Horizon. And there's a nice play on the outside by Sellers. I just know one thing, the years, I'm not a volleyball aficionado, believe me, but I have always been just amazed on momentum.
Oh, yeah.
And how quickly it changes and how hard it is to stop.
Oh, it's a tough thing, especially, in a coach's mind, you're like, oh, my players are, they're not responding to anything. It's a hard place to be in, and it's a hard place to get your players out of.
Yeah. So now Shortridge trying to build on a 1-point lead. That's Williams in the middle. Nice play there by Alonzo.
Great dig. There's that deep corner shot again.
You want to call a timeout and tell them what they need to do back there?
Oh, for sure. And I think that's exactly what they're doing.
All right, timeout on the floor. Shortridge leads it by 2.
Can't make it to the game? We've got your back. Just go to www.indianasrn.org and tune in to all of the live action or go to our on-demand service and relive your favorite moments.
We never really realize how much we depend on electricity until the power goes out. Get those lights back on when you choose the certified electricians at Bertner Electric Incorporated. Locally owned and operated, we are a member of the Better Business Bureau and provide only the highest quality of customer service. For more information, give us a call today.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
Back once again here at Horizon. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Dynamark. Look for a way to elevate your brand. Choose Dynamark, your local one-stop shop for all your print, signs, promo products, apparel, and mailing services, serving Indianapolis for over 50 years. For more information, give them a call at 317-328-2555. That is Service Air 14.
Goodness.
Listen, that's not close to some we had last year. We were in the 30 range on a couple of them. Yeah. Nice push. There's your donut.
Yep.
So it's either a donut or a campfire, right?
Either or.
Okay.
Up to the discretion of the viewer.
Or it could be a donut at the campfire.
Exactly. That'd be an interesting thing to try.
Chuck wants me to get back on point, see. 11-9. He knows I goof off a lot of times. Lose focus. And that serve will be on the line. How about that one? So tell me a little bit about the celebration on the Aces. Can you?
I was just thinking about those. You know, it was a big thing when I was in high school. You know, what are you going to do when you get an ace chair? Okay, we're going to clap 3 times, stomp our feet 4 times, and then spin around. So it's always a really, really fun thing to see what the girls come up with for their celebrations.
And the bench does it too sometimes,
oh, yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah.
12-10 your score. By the way, if you're keeping count, that's number 15 for Shortridge. Listen, I can honestly tell you, if Shortridge wins and you think, well, they made this many mistakes, how did they win? We had a basketball game last year where a team had 35 turnovers and still won. I mean, so nothing surprises me anymore. 12-11.
And I think that just goes to show how fast they're siding out, you know, from serve receive. You know, because if Horizon was going on a few runs, that would probably be affecting them a lot more than it is currently.
Layla Alberto on the serve, and the misplay will cost them the point, and we'll go side out Shortridge. Want to remind you, Officially Human, one of our sponsors. Our mission is to restore respect to game officials and recognize them as authorities on the field and the court. Do your part in practice good sportsmanship. If you don't have something nice to say about those officials, don't say anything at all, right?
Exactly.
That's why we don't let volleyball officials talk to them.
Ooh.
13-11 your score.
That's a great ball.
How about that?
Oh, I love that.
Hathaway.
Love that. I love that she stayed aggressive and just went up and swung away.
So the lead down to 1.
You know, and that's what you got to do if you're Horizon. You can't get timid here. You've got to stay aggressive if you want a chance to come back and push this thing to 4 sets.
You know, volleyball has changed a lot over the years. Do you like the game where you can score both offense and defense, or would you liked it a long time ago where you can only score on offense? Those games took a long time, by the way.
I'm sure. You know, I really like it this way. I think it creates a really, really good balance of being able to be good in both offensive and defensive moments.
That's Buckaloo again in the middle.
She's a big presence up there, which is exactly what you want from your middle.
Yeah, she has done that several times. Any overpass that Horizon has made, she has made him pay for it. Back to 2.
There she goes again.
Now, I like that little dance
right there. I love that.
Sellers.
Hyping her teammate up.
Do we have a replay of that, by the way? No. 15-12 lead at 3. From the outside, once again, Isabella Sellers.
Great play there. Great dig, great set, great swing.
You know, when you don't get a whole lot of elevation on the swing, what is it, the key then to get that thing over the net? Because a lot of times you think they're just going to hit it right into the net.
Big thing is just a point of contact.
Okay.
You know, because if you're contacting it at your highest point where you're supposed to contact it, typically the ball will fall in your favor.
Okay. Now, you played for Coach Myers when in middle school?
I think it was middle school.
But he can't jump, so how did you?
That took a bit of time.
Okay.
I mean, I was not very good come middle school, but.
Okay, well, I can see why. The coaching, probably the big difference there. 16-13 your score inside the attack line, and is it in?
It looked like it was.
Good point there by Sellers.
That's that deep corner again. I would pinch my middle back defender over a bit more to try and cover that shot that they keep going for.
I might just stand somebody right there. Don't move, just stay right in that spot. Lead at 4. Now we're talking about some dangerous territory here for Horizon. You're down by 4. It's getting close.
It is.
You cannot afford many misplays like that. So now Chuck's going to have to apologize to him if we only go 3 tonight and 3 last night. No more 5-set Troy, right? It went that way for years. Every match, 5 sets. Didn't matter what. Chuck can never get out of here early. So now it's at 5. Let's see how the Lions will respond here. Boy, really nothing there for the Lions on offense. Neither team really even a chance to set up an attack, but there at the net this time is Perry. Perry does it, Buckaloo does it. And we've got a whistle here. We're going to have some changes in the lineup, I do believe, here for the Lions. So now you're down by 6.
Yeah.
We're more dangerous territory.
Exactly. Tough place to be. You know, for Horizon, you just got to keep that ball off the net, especially when you have those offensive middles on the other side.
Well, now the magic number down to 5. Buckaloo's been impressive. I know we'll talk about her in our postgame if this does go just 3, but boy, she's been instrumental both ways.
Has. Great up there. Oh.
One thing about when you overpass and you give it back, if you kind of think of it this way, you're giving up another possession. I always think of it in basketball, like turn it over, you can score again. Boy, those are killers sometimes.
Oh, very, very much so.
And right now, it's all Shortridge.
Oh, yeah.
I like that one, too.
It's a fun little ace chair.
So 22-13 lead at 9. Does Horizon have enough to come back? They're trying to stay undefeated, but it's going to be tough now.
Yeah, and right now it's just they're getting killed in serve receive, which is one of the toughest places to get out of it, you know, especially when a server is going on a run and you just can't even seem to get a ball up in playable.
You know, what is interesting and ironic about that is you're talking about 15 service errors, and yet now they're about ready to put it away perhaps on the serves here.
Yeah.
The lead is at 10. That's a great play there by the freshman. Williams will keep them alive.
And your middles have been solid all night. You know, if you're Horizon, you just gotta keep that ball off the net. You know, allow your setter to set your hitters.
Well, I asked you earlier about comebacks, and I'm kind of curious now for Horizon. They cannot make 2 mistakes here, and that's a lot to ask, isn't it?
It is.
Somehow they're staying alive. Shortridge will return. A lot of times my always thought process was, I'll tell you what, I'm going to give it back to you. You make the mistake instead of me making the mistake.
Yeah. Oh, line judge called that in, I think.
Wow. Now that's a tough call. The line judge is down here by us, and that was way down at that end.
Mm-hmm. Well, and you don't see Horizon arguing it, so chances are it did touch the line.
So that's a big point. We are now at match point here for Shortridge, and they're going to win it. Boy, what a third set.
No kidding.
For Shortridge to win it. And you got to really think maybe the key was that second set when Horizon had a chance to win it and they gave it up.
Yeah, for sure. When you're in those situations, it's hard to, be up by that much and not get a sense of being complacent. I've always told players, be confident, not cocky.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's a difference between the two.
Exactly. There is, confidence, hey, we know how to put a ball away. We know how to serve. We know how to pass. We know how to do X, Y, Z versus, oh, okay, well, we got this. Like, we're ahead by, whatever it is, and not being able to do what you need to do.
Well, I'll tell you, Buckaloo played well tonight for Shortridge. I thought Sellers played well. You look at Penelope Peter, the left-hander, she played well, and I think they really made the difference.
I would agree.
When they needed something big, they came, especially Buckaloo came up big.
Oh yeah, especially when you have an offensive setter combined with middles who can put a ball away and prevent balls from coming back on your side. It's a tough thing to beat.
By the way, on the other side, Horizon, they only committed 5 service errors on the night, so that's much improved from last night, but they got to find a way to get that lead and hold on to it.
For sure.
Want to remind you that tonight's game has been brought to you by Reynolds Farm Equipment. Reynolds Farm Equipment is a leading equipment dealer since 1955. Passion to care, delivering care with more than 24 years of experience. Boilermaker Local 374. They represent highly skilled, highly motivated workers in field construction as well as metal fabrication in the state of Indiana. Wheeler Mission. For over 125 years, Wheeler Mission has been a pillar in the Indianapolis community. Bertner Electric, your trusted electrician partner since 1986. The Morales Group. We're in business to create a better future for you and your family. Northwestern Mutual. Inspiring people to repeatedly take action on their financial goals. Indiana Labor's District Council, the 12,000 Hoosier men and women with Labor's District Council and affiliated local unions that build Indiana. We are LIUNA. And the IndianaSRN sports page. Follow the sports page daily with updated sports news coast to coast. Go to IndianaSRN.org and click on our sports page tab. As we wrap it up tonight, Hannah, your thoughts? Shortridge, a big win, but Horizon, good effort tonight, but now they got to find a way to kind of come back for their next matchup.
For sure. Yeah, if you're Horizon, you take this and you learn from it. Coming into 2-1 now, and I think one thing that they can look to improve on is, limiting the other team's runs. Even though Shortridge did have, 15 service errors?
15 of them.
They had consistent service runs, and they didn't get, I think they got stuck in serve receive a few times, and the inability to, get a ball up, keep it off the net, and just kind of do the simple things, that they need to do. And so I think, you just go back to the basics. If you're Horizon, get a pass up, get it to your hitters that know how to put a ball away, and just do what you know how to do.
All right. Hannah, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Much improved over the person we had in the first set. Shortridge wins this one tonight, 3-0. Thanks to the entire crew once again. This has been high school volleyball on IndianaSRN.